I think that the chances of integrating and actually getting more partners increases exponentially.
Has there been any thought to some underground sprinkling for some of these trees, especially like at the mountain pond? I think there's water there.
Yes, it's in the proposal, but at the mountain pond, excuse me, there's a nearby water source at the Grand Mountain Memorial right near the top northwest pod, and then there's a fire hydrant on the other side of the road. At the very least, we'll have access to water very close by, so the watering step will be made that much easier. With some partnerships, we didn't want to ask for the watering, any irrigation in the thing, but we could essentially extend the watering system or a sort of a casual watering system to get water to these trees automatically. But we're kind of building this in as a 1 year, maybe the second year, and then these things are going to survive on their own. As far as the mountain pond, we have access to water at 2 or 3 locations. And as far as figure 3, with respect to the berm up from the Syndicate Pit to Missoula Avenue, we expect to just extend the existing water system that's on that berm now that is watering those trees on the west side of the Syndicate Pit. And as necessary, bring some water from the Anselmo up for that spot. The ones on Empire and Boardman, again, they're kind of being strategically located so they can take advantage of all the stormwater that is going to be drained off of Empire Street right to these particular areas. As far as the 2 other areas on the side, those were selected because they're natural drainage areas. They're draws, they're bottom of draws where we're seeing good vegetative cover, and we should be able to support it. So our idea is to use services to get these things watered in year 1 and 2 and prove out the sustainability. So in later years, we can show that once you get these trees started, they can survive on the bed. But where we have water, we will take advantage of it, at least for the short haul to the areas where we need it.
Any other questions from council?
I just think it's important to know the trees that you're planting are really, the correct ones. And I'm just trying to understand why you chose those. I just want to know why, like, our mountain ash is the area, do they get to the tree that's going to be too much of the water a year? Those kind of things. I mean, I think it's a good question, and I just say the contractor said so.
Well,
I'd like to know more.
Okay. Well, it's a fair question. I don't mean to belittle the question at all. I can only tell you that these 6 species were selected primarily because they're suitable for our climate. I mean, that's the best way to answer it. If I had species on there that any number of experts here would say, hey man, that's never going to grow, but I don't think so. I think that they have been selected precisely because they're indigenous to our area. They can survive drought conditions and some of the harsher conditions that are in our area. These are experts telling me that, and then I'm putting it on paper and telling you that. I don't have the expertise to go much farther in my answer, but I can assure you that those 6 species are selected primarily because of their suitability. But as for the specific reasons why, I'm out of bullets.
No, I just was wondering, like, who was the expert?
Well, we have Leslie Parker, our architect on staff. The 2 contractors that I consulted with both recommended the same species, local reclamation specialists and tree specialists. And we learned quite a bit through our urban forestry program. They've kind of been leading the show. I'll make a little plug for them. They have their tree bait program out there. We only have 60 takers. We have more $50 vouchers for anybody who wants to get a tree. But they, you know, the Urban Forestry Board, all of which Jeremy Weber, our county extension agent, you know, all these people have consulted us on making sure we're selecting the right species.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, it's not just, you know, some guy Tom saw out on the street.
All right, with that, I think we'll open it to any questions from the public.
Larry mentioned public input, and I'm wondering if the residents, for example, around Boardman Street, are consulted about where these trees are going in and happy with where they're going.
We did not consult with the Boardman Street residents yet on this project. We are going to be meeting with them on the drainage project because we're putting this curb and gutter in, and that will go through the standard process of alerting any affected landowner of that project. If we get positive feedback, you know, then we'll start shopping
The
around.
only reason I ask this question is that there is already curb and gutter been put in at Boardman Street that has blocked the ability for a little business there to have parking that they've had for 50 years. And they were surprised to see that curb and gutter go in. So I just think it's important to make sure that people are aware and buy into what's going on.
This is one of the, you mentioned youth silver bowl compost as a contribution. This is one of those questions that is relevant but not specific to the topic. My question is, why is Butte Silver Bowl paying someone to haul compost away? Why aren't you using it on this project, plus spreading it on everything else that needs to be covered so things will grow?
Well, first of all, the Butte Silver Bowl's contribution as represented comes through our reclamation program. If you're referring to the, I'm not quite certain, like, Ed, which compost you're saying we're having hauled away.
At the last council meeting, there was a contract brought before that they approved so that we could pay a composter to haul compost away from the. Why isn't that compost being used exclusively for these type of reclamation projects?
I believe that the council communication had to do with changing the way we chip our waste, our yard waste at the landfill. In the past, we had contracted directly ourselves with a chipper, and then those chipped wood waste were hauled over to another section of the landfill and then used in the compost production operation. I believe the manager has decided to just have the person who's responsible for the compost production operation take care of the chipping on their own, rather than having to wait for us to get our contractor in place to do the chipping for it to be hauled over to the compost pile. We do, as a community, because of our relationship with the compost manufacturer, you know, we do get a certain amount of compost each year, 300 cubic yards, I believe it is, and we use those in public projects around town. That's not the quantities I'm talking about with respect to this particular project. Through our reclamation program, you know, we stockpile materials that are used in our reclamation and revegetation efforts, and that we would, as per Chad's suggestion, you know, try to integrate that element into the tree planting project. So in the future, I would hope that we can